Test, test, 1, 2. This shit is crispy. I really despise gamers nowadays. That's just how I feel, man. The amount of faith I have for any game review to simply just live without controversy is non-existent at this point. And I've noticed is always coming from the same usual suspects, always stirring the pot or claiming about some perceived agendas getting shoved down their throat. This phenomenon has been a consistent trend, and I swear to Cheddar Bob, every new reveal falls victim to it. I'm not going to talk about that section of the internet in this video, but the way that community has lapsed into a profound state of dumbassery needs to be studied, and with how things are going at this rate, I'm gonna have to make a completely separate video on these people and how they've damaged gaming discourse beyond repair. Everything has an agenda nowadays. This game has an agenda. Agenda. They're ruining my games. We're at the point now where if any character even looks slightly ethnic, the entire game is viewed as compromised. And no, I'm not schizophrenic. This is something I actually see happen on a consistent basis as someone who used to inhabit these communities. Even if you take nothing more than a single gander at the state of the conversations pertaining to gaming, a lot of the complaints and brain dead controversies usually just boil down to this doesn't 100% appeal to my sensibilities as a gamer, so therefore there is some underhanded agenda at play. And this is not to say there aren't any games that come out these days that read like a chronically online Twitter progressive's wet dream, and there can be a conversation about certain individuals occupying areas of entertainment that certainly have the capacity to make things shittier. But my god, every game is at the nexus of some boilerplate anti-woke crusade. At least that's what it feels like, because my For You page on X is literally cancer. There's several people I blame for the sad state of the gaming community nowadays in regards to the whole political side of it, and I legitimately want to flame those people so bad. But there's a time and place for everything. It's so obvious and clear as day what some of these so-called content creators are doing. I'll just say that. It's like when this guy made E from Stellar Blade the poster child for his campaign against everything wrong in gaming. Ever since that shit came into play, the amount of insufferable people it spawned is actually insane. Any female that even looks slightly less attractive than the dolled up Asian with the camel toes and the front to the eye.
I'm gonna come.
Siri from Witcher 4, take a look at that gross DEI chin. Jordan A. Munn from Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, look at that dome, dude. How about all three characters coexisting at the same time? What a concept. Not every character needs to look like Shin Jae-un. These two characters were the talk of the town after the Game Awards last year because of how they looked, and you had those ilk of gamers dismissing these games entirely because their cock didn't tingle upon seeing them for the first time. Now there's a bunch of infighting within these communities because one of the soldiers fighting the good fight, so to speak, ended up having quite conservative views on sexy women in gaming. I don't want to spend too much time on this point specifically, but Jesus, the degeneration of that community is simply unreal. Engine 5. Don't even get me started on the folk who say gaming is dead, unironically. With all due disrespect, I think those people need to be shot. Imagine watching the Game Awards in December and watching the immense lineup of games in a variety of genres, while the next iteration of GTA is on the horizon. Absolute crack smoker mentality I see on the internet. This way of thinking isn't unique to the medium of video games, where there's lingering black pill rhetoric you hear from purists you find in other pop culture circles. Hip-hop is dead. On what planet? Jupiter? There's way too many games past, present, and future that it beggars belief of that garbage ass notion. Either play more games or die. I don't know. A lot of these so-called golden age games that are dick road into oblivion I find overrated as hell, so I find it especially grating when gamers go back in my day like a boomer. Hell, even new games today get this sort of treatment where they would actually be solid games, but instead of just being normal and enjoying those games for what they are, they have to get on their soapbox and delegitimize other games for like completely basic and petty shit. Elden Ring is probably the primary example of this. This wouldn't bother me as much if these gaming is dead people weren't constantly screaming from the rooftops about wanting something completely fresh and new. Bro, where's the new IP? But then glaze what is essentially just Dark Souls in an open world, which is fine, by the way. Niggas when a game doesn't have a gun or a ball in it.